Hey guys, FX here. Welcome to the 23rd episode of the weekly market outlook with TRADEXPROP. Now, in this episode, I will be covering the dollar index, gold, and the S&P 500. If you have any other asset classes you would like me to cover, just leave a comment down below, or even better, join our free Discord where you can connect with myself, the TRADEXPROP team, and other like-minded traders. We'll be having more events in the future, so do stay tuned for announcements on that. Right, it's coming really soon and I'm really hyped for them. Okay, so we are coming into the end of September. I'm curious to see if we can still maintain here on the DXY monthly chart. I'm curious to see if we can still maintain this strong bearish closure, right, which we were expecting following this large bearish momentum for the past 2 months. We did follow suit on September, so I'm curious to see if we could close like this or just around this price point with this confident bearish close beneath this monthly support of around 101.3. So if we do see this bearish close, we could see a potential continuation of this large downward momentum down into this wick right here around 99.57, or even into this area of interest right here, which was previously resistance. We broke through it and then we turned into support right around this region, so we could definitely see price come down to retest this area right here. If we do see a strong bearish closure beneath the support, which is in this case more than likely. So I'm not expecting tomorrow, which is Monday, to have any large retracements higher, but don't let the market shock you. That could be on the cards if anything, but I'm just not expecting the possibility to be very high. So if we do, on the off chance, see price do a fake out next month on October, then we could be seeing some really interesting price action. Since we're closing back within the range in the form of a fake out, we could see price come back up to retest this region of a price action right here, and maybe even see retest around 106.6. but I am still fundamentally bearish on the dollar, so I am personally not expecting that to happen until I'm actually proven wrong here on the chart. So as of now, I'm still expecting price to just continue lower, and if we do find support here, we will see some short-term retracements higher, maybe even if to retest its highs right here. But as of now, just expecting price to reach and grab lower prices. Okay, if we do break below this price point right here at 99.37, we could see a potential retest into this area of price action around the 96, 97 price point right here. So I'm just curious to see how we are going to be trading in this longer term picture. But as of now, still bearish. Don't want to confuse you. Let's move down to the weekly chart. So here on the weekly, last week we did see price close beneath this support right here at 100.67. I did note that if we were to why is this here? This is not supposed to be here. All right, if we did see price close beneath this support, we could see it retest this price region right here at around 99.91, and we did see price indeed close beneath it. At the moment, just seeing how this candlestick formed on the weekly, it is kind of indecisive because we have large wicks to the upside, and we don't really have that big of a strong bearish candle close, but it's still possible. So with this, I'm pretty sure that we are more than likely to continue down into this price region to see a possible reaction higher, and maybe we could come up to retest some of the levels up top. Maybe the closest one is 101.73, and we could also see a grabbing of the orders around here. It's not something I actively trade as of now, but whenever you see price action do something like this, where it's just, you know, slanted pretty much equal highs, price may do something like this, or price may just target that and then continue lower. So seeing this formation, it's giving me a heads up basically. So for next week, still expecting a bearish price movement. If we do come up, you know, some of these highs right here might be taken, but overall I'm still expecting a tank down lower into the support right here, and we'll see what happens around that price point. You know, if we do break past it, we do have, you know, some potential level of structures right around 98.23. This is the next level of, you know, major support I'd be eyeing at, but at the moment we will decide when we come down to this price point right here. Okay, if we do reject it, definitely expecting a move higher before the continuation, since, you know, I'm still pretty much bearish on the dollar. Okay, so that is pretty much it for the weekly. I have some key levels noted out right here as well. If we do, you know, break above it, we could see price action threading higher into 103.220. Same thing, if we do come higher than this, then 104.500 is the next area of interest that I'm personally going to be looking at. Okay, so that is pretty much it for the weekly. Now let's dive into some current price action. So last week, as well as the week before that, we've been pretty much just stuck in this large range of consolidation. We're stuck between this resistance at 101.05 and this support at around 100.274. We have wicked higher and lower through these zones multiple times, in form of grabbing of liquidity, I assume, but we have yet to see any sign of clear direction in form of candle closures above or below a level. So we haven't seen something like this, nor have we seen something, you know, like this. So I'm still waiting on the daily. We don't have any clear direction, but following soon on the monthly and the weekly, I'm expecting price to continue lower, following how we closed on the weekly and how we might close on the monthly, since we have just one trading day left. You know, if we do close lower beneath 100.27, you know, we could head down lower into the structure point around here at 99.750. Okay, but what if we start to range? Personally, I'm thinking this is going to be a low probability slash no trading range for me. I like a closure either above 101.057 to retest this week around 101.47, and also the highs around this level, 101.773. But if we do see a closure, you know, beneath it, right at this price point, you know, definitely eyeing 99.75 right here. Okay, so that's pretty much all that I'm looking at for now. You know, there's not much to decipher since we're seeing all these, you know, sideways price action. The best thing is to wait for either a break above or a break below, and you could pair that alongside your really good friend, the economic calendar right here. You know, so next week is going to be the first week of October, and we are going to see our good friend, the unemployment rate. So note that this is in Malaysian local time, GMT +8, so do convert that to your own local time. But let me just increase the size right here. So let me just move over a bit. All right, so you can see we have no news on Monday, so expecting it to be a lackluster day for most pairs. However, you know, we could see high open interest coming to the market, especially upon, you know, the last hour of market closing, when they swap over to a new contract, and, you know, the futures contracts, they start to collapse. So do keep in mind we could see some not unexpected, but it's not volume in terms of a news release, it's just volume where people are going to be exiting their positions and closing out their buys or shorts, and there's going to be causing an influx of volume into the market. So do expect that on a Monday, right? Even though there's no high impact news, it is the last trading day of the month, so it's going to likely be a choppy trading day followed by large momentums coming into the closure of trading assets. All right. After that, we have Tuesday, where we have high impact news. We have JOLTS, ISM, and Fed Chair Powell speaks. On Wednesday we have ADP. Thursday we have unemployment claims and ISM, and Friday we have the big bad unemployment rate NFP. So it's going to be a interesting week, to say the least. I'm always telling traders to be wary of NFP, especially when you have rangy price action like this coming to the event in itself. The best thing probably is, the safest thing is to sit out probably Thursday or Friday, try to end your trading week by Wednesday if possible. But if you are a really short-term trader, you're an intraday scalper or something of that nature, you're pretty fine, But for those that have swing positions, or like the positions haven't run that quick into profit or in drawdown, you might want to adjust your positions accordingly coming into the news release, and also be wary of the news rule at TRADEXPROP. If you are trading with us, do watch out for the restrictions around news trading. Okay, so quite frankly, you could see the consensus of NFP on things like FedWatch or other data gathering websites, so I won't go through that here. Maybe in the future I'll do like a separate video on purely fundamentals, because I think if I were to mix the two, it could be a mess. But I'll see how it goes. I'll see how it goes. I'll definitely be looking into doing an episode of just purely fundamentals, just like a quick breakdown and a recap. But yes, stay tuned for that. All right, so that is pretty much it for the dollar index. Just recap, just expecting lower prices, and I want to see the daily follow suit alongside the weekly and the monthly. Okay, so moving on, we have our good friend gold. These days I just find myself just trading gold pretty much every day. I only trade gold at this point, just taking the advantage of just how volatile and how momentum filled it is. If you see my stories, you'll probably see me just taking a quick trade during London session and then just playing off that big volatility. But let's look at a more macro perspective. Okay, here we have the gold monthly on the Owenda price feed, and gold has been on a big bullish run all the way since non-stop since February of this year, but we've been bullish pretty much all the way since 2019, which is around right here. This is pretty much when I first saw the power of gold. Sorry, it was around like November, so it was around here, like December. I pretty much entered gold trading within this price point, and I'm just been seeing this large momentum. But this just shows just how powerful these traditional asset classes can be, especially in times of recession fears and global uncertainty. But big bullish trend, don't go against it on a long-term perspective, right? Wait until it forms bearish price action, then you could be looking to take shorts. Okay, because as of now, we're still at all-time highs, and people were just saying, like, oh, all-time highs, and it's going to retrace, and it never really happened. So don't buy into calling the top. Instead, keep on, following the momentum, and then once it shows you a retracement is coming in line, then you can look to take potential shorts to make lower lows and lower highs, basically. But as of now, big trend, not much to say on a monthly. Like apart from the fact that we are really close to all-time highs, pretty much just a few pips away from it. Do keep that in mind when you are looking to short this asset class. All right, so coming down onto the weekly, do we have any other price action? Well, to be fair, where we currently are, it's gonna take a while, likely, for price to move down. But next week is NFP week, and we could potentially see a large movement, either higher or lower. I don't know, but we are either going to see a big continuation higher. But on the off chance that we do crash down lower, we do have this support around 1,900 points from where we currently are. So that could be a place of reaction for you to potentially see the market rebound off of if we were to come down to that price point around 2496. But because of this large range, in the past outlooks I've been saying how it's hard to kind of decipher where we might bounce off of, because if you look, there's like support here. I mean, this is minor support, but support here, and it's just like a big mess of price action that's really unclear. So if I had to pick two supports, I'd probably say we have one around this price point, around 2387, and the other one is likely to be around this price point, right at 2285, right? So either of these levels are going to be key areas of support, or if you would like to be mindful of areas near to price action, we do have areas like 2415 where we had resistance, price broke through it, used it as support, so we could definitely see the market come down lower. But if you are a bit more traditional, here, all right, so these two price points are definitely ones that you want to be looking at as price edges closer to them. So that is all I'm seeing on the weekly. But going down to the daily, all-time highs at 2685. Personally, I do think that price on gold could reach 2.7k for sure, right? I think it's just a matter of how like soon we reach it, but definitely it is something on the cards for me. I'm thinking not too far off we are from 2.7k, so I'm definitely thinking we are going to be reaching it soon. Okay, so you could have like a line put in or an alert put in, maybe somewhere around here. You could have it put in, set an alert there, and then when price reaches that price point, be aware of very wild movements. Okay, but as of now, the current all-time highs on Oenda is 2685. Do compare that to your own broker that you're trading at, and we have formed kind of like a mini support around 2656. Right here, price came up, short rejection, and then we came up again. So we form a support around here. If we do break beneath it, I'm expecting a retest of 2643, this daily wick right here. But if we do close beneath it with momentum, then I'm expecting price to reach around the 2582 price range right here, seeing as how we have really clean traffic around here. Now price could mirror that move coming into it if we do see a strong closure beneath 2656, as well as breaking the wick right here at 2643. All right, so that's what I'm personally expecting gold to do. But if we do continue higher, don't be surprised if we actually do just keep on pushing and pumping higher on gold. That's what we've been seeing for the past few months. So do not be surprised if gold does in fact do that. Okay, but if we do, this is like a 700 point range, so definitely an area where you could look into, right? Breaking below that, we could see support at 2558, and further down from that, this area has shown many interests in the past. I'm sure if we do come down to 2525, there's going to be something for us there. But the hard part is if we do break beneath 2525, we are essentially now caught within a range of around like 400 points, which is fine for day trades, but for swing traders or like long-term holders, it's not really that ideal. Ideally we want to see a break beneath 25, like this price point. Let me just adjust the zones real quick. So around this price point at 2484, but then right beneath it we have 2468. So better off, I want to see price break this level right here that we were shown support at, and then we could see a big trend lower at that point, because from where we currently are, that's a really big move right here. So definitely something to look into if we were to reach that price point in the first place. But for now, keeping it really simple, I'm just gonna remove this and maybe remove this. Currently we are within this price lag, could definitely see retracements to go higher, or retracements to break it, continue back into this consolidation, and then see a move higher as well. Okay, so that is pretty much it for gold. Just expecting higher prices until we are proven wrong. Any shorts are going to be very quick in and out movements of the market. It's going to be like really short-term sell positions. I'm not going to be holding any of my shorts from the top. If I do, it will be really small runners, and it's just going to be something for the gram, I guess. Just like hey, I caught the top of the of gold of the gold run basically. But it doesn't make sense to hold a large position, seeing as how gold fundamentally is going to be pretty bullish until the next rate cut in November. So just keep that in mind. So that is pretty much it for gold. Let me move into the SPX 500 or the S&P 500, and same story with gold. Right here is currently where we are at on the monthly, on the Ovenda price feed. We are pretty much also at all-time highs, finding support around this area of weak rejections around 5481. But apart from that, we don't really have any we don't really have any cohesive price action to base our analysis off of. Okay, so on the monthly in itself, it's obviously been bullish. I mean, the S&P is just bullish anyway, so not much we can decipher from there. But we are seeing a large wick to the downside, and we have kind of formed this swing low in the form of the big yen carry trade offloading right here back in August. So as of now, I'm still not bearish on this asset class as well, on the S&P or on Russell, on Nasdaq or Dow. I'm not bearish on either of them. I'm still expecting continuations higher, seeing as how the dollar is likely to weaken, and price is going to flow from safer risk assets like fixed deposits back into the higher risk assets like stocks. So we could see a potential Santa Claus rally, since if you look at historic data, we are likely to see a bull run on indexes maybe like a few months after a rate cut. So I'm still bullish on the S&P until when, I'm not sure, but definitely bullish until the consensus has changed, as well as confirmation by a price action. So looking at how the weekly closed, previously we closed right here. We did make an all-time high last week, and as of now, the price point I'm going to be looking at for price to return back down to continue higher is around 5647. Okay, that's the nearest level of structure that I'm seeing on the weekly. Apart from that, there isn't really much clarity right here, but that is for a long position that's nearby. But on the options that we do come down and then we close bearish with conviction beneath 5647, that support, we could see a potential run lower into 5393, which is the next support because of all this clean traffic. It's just one big candle without any price action. So just based off the weekly, if we do close beneath this level, it could be an indication that we're going to be threading lower into a support down below. Okay, the next one is going to be 5367 right here. So just curious to see how we are going to play out next week. This is quite a large range as well, as you can see. So definitely you're able to get many handles and many ticks and points from this price movement if we were to close beneath. And even if we were to come down and then turn long again, we definitely could see a retest of the current all-time highs at 5784 based off the ONDA price feed. Okay, so that is what I'm seeing for the S&P. Let's take a look at the daily. All right, so the daily is, I wouldn't say basing right here, but we're seeing kind of like a semi-compressed price action. We formed resistance around 5747, closed above it, but then immediately on last Friday we closed back within the range. So this is at the moment for me a no trade range. Okay, we do have a minor support over here, but this is just a really lackluster price action range for me. It's not really a big range either, so this is a no trade for me. What I would like to see if price could come down somewhere within this range, form a really strong bullish engulfing, or at least some strong bullish structure on like the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and close strong bullish on the daily, we could see a short retest of 5784 at the all-time highs. But on the off chance that we do close beneath the range at 5711, we could see a retest of the wick right here at 5683 for a wick fill, and potentially see price continue lower back down into 5634, which is, it's a decent range for a swing position, but it's a very bountiful range for intraday trades. Closing lower beneath 5634, we could see this big, large, clean daily range that was mirrored from the weekly that we saw, and that would allow for price to kind of trade back down within 5393. But I want this closure to be a weekly candle closure, because if you were to take shorts off the daily, you could see a candle closing like this and immediately closing back as a fake out within that range. Okay, so do keep in mind for that. Yeah, still bullish long term, definitely expecting a retest of the highs, but curious to see how we form price action around this range right here. It's all right, it's not too big as well, so just curious to see how we form this price action. I am expecting price to come back down, form some support to retest these highs, but breaking below, we could see short-term shorts on the daily as well in form of retracement. But that leaves the that is all left up to the markets. It's not for me to say what's going to happen. So I think that is going to be it for the outlook. Do keep in mind that we do have NFP next week, and always manage your risk. Okay, always happy to see any comments down below, or even in the Discord. You could ping me there, or you could DM me on the Discord messages, app. I mean, not app, but like the function right there. Just happy to interact with people that are willing to talk about trading with me. Okay, but I think that's gonna be it for this week. Stay safe until I see you next week, and peace out. Bye bye.